My parents threatened to cut me off if I didn't cover my sister's 50K mess. I smiled, played the good son, then paid it, just not with my money. Don't roll your eyes at me, Thomas. My father's voice shook the walls. His chair screeched back as he slammed both palms on the table. A half-full plate of cold lasagna rattled, one piece sliding onto the floor. You think you can sit there quiet while your sister's life falls apart? He barked. Across the table, Lila kicked her heels up on the chair, smirking. He won't do it. He never does anything unless it makes him look good. Her tone was sugar-coated poison. My mother flinched at the sound of it, sipping from her wine glass even though it was already empty. You're going to pay the $50,000, Thomas, my father growled. You'll transfer it by Monday. If you don't bother showing your face in this family again. The room buzzed with silence. My hand stayed folded in my lap, steady. Then Lila tilted her head, her lipstick smeared like she'd been chewing on it. Or maybe he can't pay because he's hiding something. Tell them, Thomas. Tell them where your money really went. And that was when I smiled. My name's Thomas Hale. I'm 26 years old. For most of my life, I've been the quiet one, the one who kept his head down and carried the weight nobody else wanted. I wasn't loud. I wasn't reckless. I wasn't the child they bragged about at parties. I was the one they leaned on when bills stacked high, when Lila got into trouble, when Dad's temper got too sharp and Mom drowned herself in wine instead of words. And they thought I'd stay quiet forever. But I'm not quiet anymore. Not tonight. Because there's one thing they've forgotten. I've been watching, and I know things none of them believe I could. Family members introduced. Lila, 23. The golden child, spoiled since birth. She had this way of twisting every mistake into someone else's fault. Even now, sitting at the table like a queen who lost her crown, she acted as though the world owed her a rescue. Evelyn, mother, 49. Always pacing, always whispering, "Please, let's not fight," while her hand trembled against her wine glass. She was the type to wipe the table instead of stopping the storm happening above it. Martin, father, 52. Built like a wall, voice like a hammer. A man who believed control meant love, that shouting meant leadership. He thought fear was respect. Together, they looked at me like I was the missing puzzle piece to fix their mess, like I'd ever been more than their backup plan. You act like 50,000 is nothing to you, Lila snapped, her nails tapping the table. Don't you dare sit there judging me. I had no choice. No choice? I finally spoke. My voice was calm, but the words made her flinch. You always have choices. You just never deal with the cost. Her eyes narrowed, sharp as glass. My father jumped in, pointing at me. Don't you start lecturing her. She's your sister. She's blood. You owe her. That word again. Oh. Funny how in this house, debt always belonged to me, but credit never did. I've seen this before, I muttered under my breath. What's that supposed to mean? My mother whispered, but I didn't answer. Because she already knew. And that was the crack. A silence that told them I wasn't holding all the cards they thought I was. Stop looking at me like that, Lila shouted suddenly. You think you're so much better, don't you? With your stupid job, your stupid apartment. You think Dad ever loved you like he loves me? He didn't. He never will. Her words shot out like bullets. My mother gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. My father froze, his jaw tight, but I just leaned forward, steady, controlled. Finally, I said one line. Thank you for saying it out loud. The mood shifted. The air itself seemed to pause. My father looked at me like he didn't recognize me, and that was the first time in years I felt them afraid, not of my anger, but of my silence. 16 years old, grease on my clothes, the sound of plates clattering in the diner kitchen. That summer, Dad had said, if you really care about this family, you'll help pay for Lila's dance camp. So I worked 14-hour days. Every tip, every blister, every aching muscle, I handed it over. I remember sliding those crumpled bills onto the kitchen counter. Mom smiled like I'd done something heroic. Lila barely looked up from her phone. And me? I stood there covered in sweat and dishwater, feeling invisible. Like giving up my life for them was the most natural thing in the world. That memory has never left me. Do you want to know where her 50 grand went? I asked, finally raising my eyes to my father. Thomas, shut your mouth, he barked, but I didn't. Not this time. She didn't lose it, she paid it. For you. The words hit the room like a grenade. My mother froze mid-breath. What do you mean, for him? Lila's face drained of color. Her hands shook. I leaned back. Dad's failed investment last year, the one he swore didn't happen, the one that nearly sunk us. She bailed him out, and now he's using me as the next bandage. The glass slipped from Mom's hand and shattered on the tile. Nobody moved. Chaos, pure chaos. Is it true, Martin? My mother screamed, her voice raw. Don't you dare look at me like that, he roared back, standing so fast his chair fell. Lila buried her face in her hands, sobbing, but it sounded rehearsed, like she'd practiced being the victim her whole life. I didn't flinch. I sat there, watching the empire they built on lies collapse, and when the noise peaked, I spoke, calm and final. I gave you all my silence. Tonight, I give you the truth. For a second, nobody breathed. And then Lila, of all people, lifted her head, her eyes wet and furious. This is your fault, Thomas. You knew. You could have stopped him. Her betrayal stung like an old wound reopening. But I just nodded, because I'd expected it. I stood up. My chair scraped against the tile like a closing door. For once, nobody told me to sit down. Nobody dared. At the front door, my mother's voice cracked through the air. Thomas, wait. Please, don't leave like this. I turned back. She looked smaller than I'd ever seen her. Fragile. Not a mother, not a shield. Just a woman who had chosen silence her whole life. I don't need your apology, I said gently. I just need my life back. And then I left. Outside, the night air felt sharper, cleaner. My chest rose like I'd been underwater for years and finally found the surface. I knew they'd never see me the same again. And that was okay. I didn't need their love, their approval, or their excuses. For the first time, I was free of their weight. The silence I carried was no longer theirs. It was mine. And it felt like peace. If you were in my place, would you forgive them, or would you walk away forever? Tell me in the comments. Your voice matters here. Like if you felt Thomas's pain. Share your story. Maybe you've lived through something similar. Subscribe if you want more stories where silence finally breaks into truth.